Hello there folks and welcome. This is N90 bringing at you a quick video on everything that you need to know about inner armor. These are the three armor types that you get access to once you reach a certain level. I don't remember what level it was, but once you get there you'll pretty much find out about it. Anyways, this video is more for people who just want to figure out which armor they should be picking. Also a quick description as to what each of these things do. So we have three types. We have the weakening, which is called the Yin. We have the destruction armor, which is called the Yang, and then we have the voidness armor, which is for absorptions, and this one's just called void, basically. It doesn't quite have anything to do with yin and yangs, but it's just voidness. Each of these does grant you power increases, but on top of that, it does have an advantage with one over the other. So let's cover up the yin first. So yin is the blue type, which again is for weakening, and it has the ability to have a 20% advantage over any characters who have the voidness armor, which is this last one right here. So if you're fighting in arenas or in the game itself, anywhere at all where you're fighting another player, if they're wearing a voidness armor, you are going to have an advantage of 50%. Instead of just having 20%. So you already have an advantage of 20 on all these no matter what, but you have a much higher advantage when you're fighting against somebody with the voidness. All right. So for the middle one, which is Yang, which is where a lot of players like to choose because it's the middle choice, it's destruction, right? And it's red. So of course a lot of people are going to be picking this one a lot. So the cool thing about this one is that this one has 20%, just like all the rest of these, right? It's got that increase of 20%, but it holds an advantage over characters who have the Yin armor, which is the one right here at the very beginning. A lot of players will be picking this one too because it is the first choice, and that's the reason why a lot of people will be picking this one, is because it's the first choice, and a lot of people believe that it just weakens people, which kind of does, but it's not as much as you would think. So destruction will have a huge advantage, which is 50%, over characters who are wearing the Yin armor. Now for the last one is Voidness. Voidness is the one that I recently switched over because I've got my reasons for it, which I'll cover right now real quick. And that it basically has a 50% advantage or a higher advantage towards players who are using the destruction armor. Again, like I said before, a lot of players are rocking the destruction armor because, like I said, it's the one in the middle, so people like to choose the middle powers usually because they think it's neutral. It has a red color on it, so of course people love the color red as well as blue. But on top of that, it's got that cool name of Destruction. So you will see a lot of players rocking the Destruction armor. So it makes sense to swap over to Voidness. And on top of that, it does absorb power, or it does absorb damage rather than destroying or weakening. So absorbing is pretty neat. So keep in mind that Voidness has an advantage over Yang. Yang has an advantage over Yin. Then Yin has an advantage over Voidness. So essentially it's just going around in full circle. So they're just different attributes that you'll be having and keeping in mind on here. Sadly, you can't really tell what players have, what armor there is like on them. You can kind of probably see it whenever you see them running around and seeing their colors spark from behind. How like Yin has a blue thing, so you might be able to notice that that's what they have. So that means you might have to switch over to this color instead. But you know, Yang and Void kind of look the same. They look very similar. So these ones might be kind of hard to like differentiate. And some people will turn off the effects as well, or they might even hide it. So it might even be harder to like know what the characters are using. It would be cool if instead they would remove this stuff so that way people can see at all times what they are, so you can strategize a little better. But I don't know if they'll be planning to do that in the future or not. But it would be nice to know what kind of armor people are using. So my recommendation, if anybody's asking, is to go for the Void armor if you can. Like I said, a lot of players are going to be going for the Destruction as well as the Void of the... Sorry. They're going to be trying to get the Destruction and Void, most of all. Most people don't really pick the Burning one, because who wants a green armor, right? And who's going to be picking the last one that's there? So, hope this helps. This little short description on how inner armor works. Also, keep in mind, if you want to know a little bit more about getting these things that are on here, you can only get them from the Ice Field battle practices, which is in the trials. So basically, once a day, you can be getting these things to be able to level it up as much as possible. And do keep in mind that if you do switch over from, like, let's say you went from this Yin armor that I had over down to this other one, nothing transfers over, which means you do have to start back from scratch, and you will lose all the power that you had from whatever the other armor was before. Because I had like 800 power that was just taken away as soon as it swapped over to the Void armor. And for those of you who need to know about getting the Aphrodites, keep in mind that Erisidites, I'll try to make a video on later on, but if you're able to figure it out, you can get it from the Practice You Would match in the Heart of Justice, as well as a gold box. There's other ways you can get it right now, but like I said, I'll see if I can make another video about this later on. But that's basically all there is to know about Inner Armor. I say good luck to you guys in figuring out how you're going to strategize with this, and I hope this helped. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you can. Thanks for watching. Bye-sies.